Hey guys, thanks for stopping in to check out our new shipment video. We're going to take a look at both salt and freshwater shipments that came in. Here we have got a beautiful Achilles tang. The guy is very cool. He's about 4 inches. Very nice fish, reef safe. Do well with most other fish. Got to be a little bit careful of the tangs you put them with, but all in all, they're nice fish. Don't see them real often either. Other new stuff, we've got some really nice Fiji Blue Devil damsels here. These guys are a great starter fish, do well in most community tanks, also reef safe, won't bother any corals or anything like that. And a nice large raccoon butterfly. This guy is about 5 inches. Another good community fish, does well with pretty much anybody else. Not something you want to put in reef tank typically. They will nip at some zoanthids and other polyps, stuff like that. Be a little bit careful there. Down here we have got hiding out on the rocks a nice bicolor angel. It's dwarf angel. It only gets about 3.5 inches or so, 3 to 4 inches. Nice fish, reef safe, does well with pretty much everybody else. You got to be a little bit careful with other dwarf angels though, unless you add them at the same time. Let's see, here we've got a pretty cool Spanish hogfish and a blue tang there, as you can see. The Spanish hog is semi-aggressive. You wouldn't want to keep them in a reef tank. They'll eat shrimp and crabs, stuff like that. They do well in a more semi-aggressive type aquarium, puffers, lions, stuff like that. And they get pretty good size, about a foot on those guys when they're full grown, so they do want to have a little bit bigger tank. Up here we've got some nice smaller yellow tang. There, he's about 2.5, 3 inches. Very popular fish, and they'll do fine again in community tanks. Reef safe as well. There's a flame angel, real nice flame angel there. He's about 2.5 inches. That guy also reef safe, and one of the dwarf angels, so you don't want to put them with other dwarfs unless they go in at the same time and you got a large enough tank. Then a Riga butterfly. Oh, being a little skittish there. A Riga butterfly. Similar to the other butterflies, good community fish, non-aggressive, but use care when you put them in a reef tank. They'll eat anemones and polyps and stuff. And some Bengai cardinals, which are very cool fish, do well in a reef tank. Stay about full grown here. They're about 2.5 inches, 3 inches or so with the fins. Like to be in schools though, like to keep them in a group. They do best that way. Over here we got another flame angel there. And you can see a multicolor wrasse. He came in a couple weeks ago, doing great though. Beautiful fish there. Here we have got some very cool orange-tailed damsels. These guys are a variety you don't see real often. A little bit rare. You can see the orange just on the tails there. Not as aggressive as some of the other damsels are. Do well in a reef tank, community tank, and pretty much with anybody that they can't fit them in their mouths. And some more of those yellow tangs hanging around. And underneath the rock there you can see a flame hawk, very cool fish. These guys are from Tahiti. These are a hawk fish. They like to perch. You can see kind of he hangs out, almost looks like he's walking. And those guys do well in reef tanks as well, unless you got real small shrimp or stuff they might eat. Here we've got a beautiful large potter's angel. This guy's about 4 inches, gorgeous fish. And he'll do also well in a reef tank. Again, pygmy angel, dwarf angel, so you got to be careful what you keep him with as far as the angels go. But non-aggressive for the most part, and does well with most other fish. Here we have got a nice little copper banded butterfly. These guys, he's a baby, he's only about 2 inches. They get about 6 inches when they're full grown. And they actually do okay in most reef tanks. They like to eat aptasia and some other nuisance stuff you don't want in there. And they will pick at polyps if they exhaust everything else. But for the most part, they do well in most larger reef tanks. Another bicolor angel in this tank. He just went behind the rock. Now he's hiding. Here we've got some Royal Grama. These are a type of basslet. These guys stay fairly small. They're a very popular fish, good hardy fish, good for a beginner tank. You get about 3 to 4 inches. And they'll do fine with most other fish, except for other gobies or basslets in the same basic design as they are. Sometimes they can get a little bit nasty. Also got a nice selection of golden-headed sleeper gobies. There's a couple there and a few more over here. These guys are great for sand sifting. They also are a prawn goby, so they will live with other shrimp, certain types of shrimp, which is pretty cool. Good reef fish. They like to clean the bottom, keep things nice and tidy. And we got one red chromis. This is a very unique type of damsel, chromis. Very rarely see them. Very cool. Pinkish coloration with the blue stripe, and they get about 2 to 2.5 inches. And again, another reef safe and community fish. Here we've got a red-tailed triggerfish, also known as sargassum trigger. Very cool. This guy, and these aren't real aggressive as some of the other triggers are, so they'll do well in a semi-aggressive tank as well. And let's see, invert-wise, we got some really cool fire shrimp. These guys are very awesome. They are reef safe. They will do well with pretty much everybody else. Some other shrimp they may have a problem with if the tank's not big enough, coral banded, stuff like that. Sometimes they'll get in arguments with. But for the most part, they do well with anybody. Here we got a yellow watchman goby. Very cool. Another sand sifter that helps keep things clean on the bottom. Got a couple of mandarin gobies in stock. These guys are very popular. Like to eat brine shrimp, and they get about 3 inches full grown. Good reef fish. They do well in reefs that are more established. If there's anything here you like, you want us to put on hold for you, give us a call, 414-546-2201. We'll put on hold for you for 24 hours. And you can check availability and pricing on these guys on our website, www.thefishfactoryonline.com. Here we've got some dwarf seahorses. They're hanging onto that sea fan there. You can see these guys are pretty small. They're only about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. These are dwarf varieties, so they don't get much bigger than that. And they do well in the tank with lower flow and with non-aggressive tank mates. And like mandarins would be okay with them, something like that that's a shy eater. But these guys are relatively docile, so you want to be careful what you put them with. No damsels or anything like that. Here we got a nice selection of anemones. We got a couple long tentacles here. There's some brown sea bays. And a nice, another sea bay there, and a nice green carpet. And over here, let's see, I know we got, there it is, the Whitley Eye Anthias. Oh, he's hiding behind that tube there. This is a deep water fish. He's only about 3 inches. Very cool. Pink with the kind of yellow on top. Let's see if I can get him to scoot out a little bit so you can see him. There he is. Very cool fish. Don't see these very often. They're pretty rare. Good community fish as well as a reef tank. For a reef tank, they do really well in a reef tank. All right, now we'll head over to the freshwater side. Take a look what we got there. All right, and on the freshwater side, we've got some. These are chocolate cats. There's 2 of these guys in here. These are about 3.5, 4 inches right now. Very interesting fish. They are carnivores. So they will eat smaller stuff that they can fit in their mouth, and they get good size, about 1 foot long. Similar in temperament to like a red-tailed cat or something like that. One you don't see very often. Very cool on those guys. Let's see. Got some nice sort of guppies here. These are mixed males. Very popular community fish. Do well with pretty much everybody else. And here we've got a royal clown knife. He's pretty good size, about 6-7 inches on this guy. And those are more aggressive. They need to be with other semi-aggressive tank mates. They will eat smaller fish as well. Let's see. Here we've got, let's see, I think there's a few left. These were selling pretty quickly. We had some banjo cat. Yeah, there's one. Banjo catfish. Pretty cool. These guys are non-aggressive community fish. They'll do fine with others. Just a unique one you don't see real often. There's another guy swimming around back there. Some purple dragon guppies here. These guys are nice. Yellowish purple on the fins there. We got males and females. Another community fish, does well with pretty much anybody that won't nip at their fins. Here we've got some autocats, excellent algae eaters. They stay smaller, so if you got a smaller tank, you don't want to get a pleco that's going to outgrow it. These guys will do a real good job. We've also got, where did they go? Here we got some jelly bean parrots. Looks like I got blue and pink left in there, and there's also some Raphael cats hanging out back there. You can see them behind the tube. There they go. The parrots are a good community fish, and they actually will do okay with other cichlids as well. They get about 6 to 8 inches in a large enough tank. Most part non-aggressive. And then the Raphael cats are a pretty cool bottom feeder. They like to hide though, like driftwood, stuff like that. So they're kind of a showpiece fish. One, it's a conversation piece. Also, we got some. Let's see if I can find some. They camouflage pretty good. We got some. Let's see, whiptail cats. Oh, there's one hanging out on the glass right there. Whiptail cats for Awelas. And there's also stickfish in here, which they blend in so good with these plants. It's a little bit hard to find them. One hanging out on a leaf there. I don't know if you can see it. There he is. And these are both non-aggressive community fish. They do well in pretty much any tank. Also got a real nice, let's see, royal Placo in here. Who's now, oh, there's one. Here we go. Let's see if you can see him. Kind of get a good shot. Royal Placos, he's got a good size too. They're about 6 inches. You can see him hanging out on that log there. Not real uncommon, but one you don't see real often. Pretty cool. They got the red eyes. There's 2 of those guys in there. Again, if anything sparks your interest, give us a call, 414-546-2201. Be sure to stop in and take advantage of our deals this month too. Tropical Tuesdays, where all freshwater fish are buy 2 get 1 free, and Flippin' Thursday. Flip a coin, you call it heads or tails, you call it right, you get 30% off. If you call it wrong, you get 15% off, so you can't lose either way. There's some chocolate gouramis. We've had those guys doing it for a couple weeks. These guys are doing great. Some small tiger Oscars. Very popular. These guys are about 2.5 inches or so, and they get big, about 10 inches when they're full grown. And those are a carnival. They will eat whatever they can fit in their mouth. Here we've got some elephant nose. Very cool fish. You can see why they are called that. They got the snout on them. These guys do okay in a community tank. They like a little bit softer water, a little bit warmer water, but definitely a conversation piece. And they will eat brine shrimp, bloodworms, stuff like that. Very cool fish, though. Nice addition for most community tanks. And I think that's it. Thanks a lot, guys, for stopping. Oh, we also got some really cool shrimp. Let's see if I can see the shrimp here. Yeah, there's some, there's one sitting right there. We got some cherry shrimp, some orange bee shrimp, which of course are going to be up. There's hanging out in the back there. You can see them. Fire shrimp and blueberry shrimp. Now, I can only see a few of them, but pretty cool. They do well by themselves in a shrimp tank. Pretty neat and relatively inexpensive. Pretty cool fish, animal I should say. But a lot of people are doing the shrimp setups, which is pretty cool. Alright guys, thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.